Hi, my babies, and welcome back to another video. It's your girl, Virgo Garden. If you don't know, now you know. Anything you need to know about little old me will be down below in the description box. You do not have to be a Virgo to watch this video. All right, babies, we back with another Sunday in Mimosa. I think that's what, episode 4? So, today we are going to be talking about the spiritual recipe. All right, so before we get into that, quick reminder, what I do have on the website, the personal year numerology readings for $5, and I'm also taking the Chinese astrology charts as well, so make sure you check the description box so you can read more information on that. Now, the spiritual recipe, okay? There's more things that goes into it, but for the basics, you're going to need 3 things. Intuition, faith, and patience, okay? In order to manifest something. Those 3 things are definitely going to be key. All right? So, I'm going to tell, of course, a little story. And this story right here is very, very, very dear to my heart because this is the story of how I got Marley. Okay, so here we go. All right, y'all. So as some of y'all know, I have a criminal background. So having this criminal background, defending myself against 2 police officers at the age of 18, about to start college in 4 days, and looking for a job, it really messed up my job opportunities, okay? So, unfortunately, I end up living with my mother longer than what I would like to, okay? So, I was in a very, very depressed state in 2017. I had a lot of issues I have not dealt with yet or even identified that I needed to heal from or that they were even an issue. Okay, I thought my anger was just because I was just frustrated with life, not understanding it was the energy inside of my body and it was keeping history of everything I had been through. So I didn't even understand all of that, y'all. And I was working at a job, which it was a temp job, but at the same time, in this area is what they call a good job, okay? Because I was working at the shipyard. Now, mind you, even the people at the shipyard are broke. Okay, let's go ahead and clear that shit up now. Even the people at this, I mean the riggers, like the people who make like big money, be broke. Okay, it's craziness. So I'm not happy with my job because it's messing with my health. I'm not happy with where I live because I'm not making enough money to support my own place at the point in time. And I'm also living in the house with my sister. Now, oh boy, oh yeah, we about to really get into it with this one because I haven't told y'all this information. Okay, so y'all do know that my sister, yes, the same exact sister, y'all, the one who tried to have a hex put on me, tried to get me gone and whatnot, the one who been out here lying on me to different people, trying to basically tarnish my name and tarnish my brand. The bodyguard situation, that's what we're gonna call her, the bodyguard sister, okay? Hey, let's add a little more fuel to the fire of why me and her are just distant. When I was 9 years old, oh, gracious. Okay. This particular sister, me and her, we went out of town to aunt and uncle house who I don't particularly care for. And we begged our mother not to send us. And she sent us, okay, because she thought she was doing something good for us, and no. But at their house, they had a basement. And the basement had like a living room area. It had its own bathroom. They had the computer down there, a TV, and it also had a bedroom that had 2 twin beds in there. So that's where me and my sister stayed for the summer. Now, we went with my grandma. So everybody else, my grandma and everybody else that lived in the house, they stayed on the second level. But me and my sister, we was on the first level in the basement. During that point in time, during that summer trip, my older male cousin dry humped me in front of his sister. And then my sister made me and my other cousin suck on her breast. So I was molested by my sister and another cousin, okay? But my sister was worse, and I'm pretty sure y'all can understand why. So that energy is already inside of me, okay? At this point in time, me and my sister, we were still sharing a room because we had to move and we didn't have enough money to get a big enough house for everybody to have their own room. So me and my sister had to share a room. Now, mind you, I'm not realizing this particular sister is jealous of me, this, that, and the third. I'm also not realizing my own pain, but also not realizing her pain. And why she is the fucked up individual that she is, okay? So, y'all, I'm being extremely transparent with y'all. When I say it's people who have known me for years, that have been around me and my sister, who do not know this, would never guess this shit. Like, oh, okay. So, at night, laying in the room with my sister, I could hear her masturbate. So that's adding more fuel onto my triggers that I already have from being molested by her and other family members. And also being sexually assaulted by different men, like, just throughout my life. So this pushed me into being more suicidal. I can't get along with the people at work because they mad because I'm quiet and I don't want to talk to them. I mean, even managers mad at me because I don't want to talk to them at work. Like, I'm seriously going through my own shit. They're like, she always walking around with that poetry book. Yes, because it keep me the fuck up off your ass, okay? Let me have my poetry book. So that's real life, y'all. All that I had at the point in time was my poetry. I knew I was suicidal. My mother knew I was suicidal, but she thought I had got past that. She knew I had dealt with depression, but she thought I had got past that. She heard me talk about it, but she never actually seen me act on it. So, dealing with all of that, being heartbroken, the guy who I thought, y'all, was my twin flame, my fake twin flame, me and him had just broke up and stuff. So, like, y'all, I was in a extremely low and extremely bad vibration, okay? I was in a bad place. Depression set in like no other because the person who I thought was my twin flame, the disappointment that came from that, that's why, even though I yell at y'all about the twin flame thing, please don't think I don't understand your pain when you find out the disappointment that that person's not your twin flame and not the person that you're not supposed to be with. That's why I put up the twin flame video, so y'all can understand that. So please don't think because I'm yelling at y'all, I don't understand y'all pain. I'm yelling at y'all because I'm passionate about what I'm doing, okay? But the pain from my fake twin flame rejecting me triggered the pain from my father rejecting me and his family rejecting me and his wife rejecting me and my siblings. You understand? Then going to work, that triggered me when I moved cities and coming to a new city and all the kids don't understand me because I'm smart and I'm not supposed to be smart because I'm black. Or I'm not supposed to like different stuff because I'm black. And getting bullied from elementary to middle school to high school to present day, okay? So dealing with all of that, and it set off all of these different triggers. Me being angry with my mother for not protecting me. Me being angry with myself for getting arrested at 18 for protecting a bum-ass nigga who wouldn't even protect me and fucking up my money. Graduating from college and still having the struggle. I had to deal with all of that. So, it boiled down to basically, like I said, it was people who knew I was, like, depressed, and I've talked about suicide. My mother, she knew. My ex-fiance knew. and my ex-best friend knew. Okay? So, my ex-best friend, all honesty, he's the only one out of those three who actually took the initiative to actually try to help me, like, get me out the house, like, come stay over my house for the night so you clear your mind and stuff like that. But my ex-fiance, who I can't believe, y'all, reflecting back, I almost married this man, okay? He told me, when I told him about 2 years prior to this, I was like, look, I was suicidal at one point and I tried to kill myself. And he was so upset. And he was like, if you ever feel like that again, you call me. I don't care. You call me. I don't care what I'm doing. You call me. I took that as, because I'm the type of person, I'm not what you see is what you get type person, because I have layers to me. But I'm the type of person, if I tell you I'm going to do something, or if I say I got you, or I fuck with you, you have my loyalty and you have my word. And that means everything to me, because at the end of the day, all you got is your word. If you can't stand on your word, you can't stand on shit. Okay? I'm the type of person, word is bond. All right? Period. Word is bond. If your word fall apart, you look very shaky to me. So, he told me all of this, and I'm believing him, because I'm like, well, we have history. You know, I had this man's child inside of me at one point. You know, like, I'm like, okay, well, he really means it. So, y'all, I don't know. I just got to a really, really bad point. Like, everything was just piling up on me. All those emotions, all those thoughts, having to go from a negative living environment to a negative work environment, back to the negative living environment, like having no peace. And I'm sitting here busting my ass, grinding with my company. I had just started performing, like I had did my second performance. And see, that's the thing. When you are not dealing with the issues that you need to heal from, you miss out on very key points or very major points in your life. I had just started performing. I had only been performing poetry for 2 months, y'all. And I had already performed at the place I had set for my goal for performing in this area. I had already performed at that venue within 2 months of me performing. I hadn't even realized that because I was so depressed. I'm just realizing it now, saying it out loud. This is what I mean when I say be in the present. I had been performing for 2 months, and I already performed at the place I had set my highest goal for to perform at in this area. That's what I mean, be in the present, okay? So, like I said, y'all, I reached a really dark place, and I remember in January, I had called the 1-800 line for suicide, but they gave me the local area. And I remember I called the place because I was literally sitting on my bathroom floor, and I had pulled out the Lysol, y'all. I had pulled out everything. I was reading the back of this shit. I was like, what? How can I drink this to go quickly? Like, I didn't want to feel no pain. I just want to go. Like, I had been crying on my floor for like an hour, and it was just really bad, y'all. It was really, really bad, y'all. And I called this hotline thinking that these people are going to help me, because every time I attempted to commit suicide, I always was stopped. And I swear it was my higher power that keeps stopping me. I swear it is. And I called this hotline, and I mean, boo-hoo-hoo, and I'm like, I'm trying to kill myself, like that. And the lady was like, you're going to have to stop crying. I can't hear you. And I hung up. And I couldn't believe that that's how she came at me. And to this day, it still stings a little bit, because I'm like, I was really right there. And I was ready to do it. And that lady did not care, because it was just a job to her. Unhappy, bitter, unhealed female, okay? Unstable creature. But anyways, y'all, I just need y'all to understand how deep it was, okay? And that happened in January, and I still kept going, so shit just kept piling up. Nobody in my house knew I was going through that, and I have somebody living in a room with me, and they don't even know I'm going through that. So, fast forward back to this particular day in February. I believe it was actually February 1st or February 2nd, 2017. And I had got off work, and I was driving home, and my mom and everybody else was already here. And I just remember just the whole drive home, I just kept saying in my head, I don't want to be here anymore. I can't do this shit anymore. I feel like I can't breathe. I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to do this shit anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. I can't breathe. Just kept saying that shit over and over, and that's how I was literally feeling. Like, I've never felt that close before as I did through any other attempt. And I remember I came home and I had my work bag, and I always have like a water bottle or something. And wait, hold on, y'all. I skipped a part. My bad. I didn't come straight home. I actually went down the street and parked at a bank down the street from my house because it was after hours and the bank had closed. And my mom knew I was supposed to be home. She was like, you got off at such and such time. And she texted me. She was like, you okay? And I just texted back and I was like, yeah. And I'm sitting in the bank parking lot down the street, literally crying my eyes out, coming up with a way to take my life. Because I had made up my mind, I'm not going to make it to work on Monday. And I meant that shit. I was not going to make it to work on Monday. So I'm boo-hoo-hooing, and then something told me, call your ex-fiance. When he said, when you're like this, call him. I called this motherfucker, this ignorant ass bitch. Tell him something. You just need to get over that shit. You need to stop crying. You need to toughen up some. You tougher than this. You just need to get over it. Call me later when you stop crying. You know? Like, that's how he came to me. So I felt helpless. I felt like I had nobody. Because I always thought I would have his friendship. I always thought he would have my back. I always thought he would be there. But that's why some people are leaves, branches, and roots. So, sitting there in shock after getting off the phone and hung up on after saying I'm about to kill myself, I didn't feel heard, y'all. And I was literally right there on the fucking edge, and I did not feel heard. So then I go home, and I remember my mom was sitting in the dining room, and you have to go through the dining room in order to get to where me and my sister room was. And all my mama said was, hey Nina, how was work? Y'all, when I say I snapped, all she said was, hey Nina, how was work? I gunned my water bottle at her and I just let it all out. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to kill myself. I hate you. I hate this family. Like, I just went off, not realizing I was holding all of that in, because in my family, it's not normal to go to therapy. In my family, it's not normal to talk about the things that you have been through. And I tried to tell my mom when I was 9 that I was getting molested, and she told me she was tired and she would talk to me about it tomorrow. So do y'all see when I say inner child work, that sacral that holds all of that? All my life, I felt like I have not been heard. My father only show up when he want to. My mother's always tired. She don't listen to me. All the other adults are caught up in what they're doing. My older cousins are bullying me. Like, do you understand when I say I feel like I'm not heard? So she's sitting there looking at me, and she has tears in her eyes as I'm going off. And I just run out the house with the car keys and with my phone. And that's all I took. And I remember I just ran. And I sat on the side of this building, and I was crying so hard. And I don't even remember if she called me. I'm sure she did. But I remember my grandma told me she went looking for me, but I didn't know that at the point in time. But I called my father. And if my father had not picked up that phone, I had made up my mind. I was going to get in my car, and I was going to drive to the interstate, open up the door, politely sit on the side of the interstate, and wait for an 18-wheeler to come. And I was going to run out in front of that bitch. No second guessing, no hesitation. But my father picked up. So when he picked up, he could tell in my voice. He could tell how I was crying. He never seen or heard me like that. And he came and got me. And he was trying to find somewhere for me to stay. And we couldn't even find nowhere for me to stay. And he just felt helpless. But, I mean, that's a whole nother story, y'all, with that one. But we ended up having we ended up picking up my mom. And we had a conversation with my mom. And he was like, something's going to have to change. Because I told him about me being molested. I told him about everything. Because my mom did not know at the point in time my sister had molested me. And she didn't know about the other 3 cousins that had molested me. She just knew about one. So I told him everything. And he was like, oh, hell no. Okay. He was like, oh, nah, we go get your mama right now. So we had a talk and stuff, and he was like, I don't think she need to be in the house right now around her sister. And she also, you need to separate them too. And so that's what they did. They separated us. And for the weekend, I went and got a hotel room. Well, my dad got me a hotel room so I could just breathe. And that's when I started this spiritual journey that I am currently on and closing out right now, y'all. Okay? So y'all can understand the background of how we got to this point here. So when me and my dad were in the car talking, he was like, well, what can we do, like, for a mojo or something for you to hold on to? So when you get to feeling depressed or suicidal, you can turn to that. And I told him, I said, well, my best friend used to come get me and let me spend the weekend at his house when I was suicidal before. And he had a dog. And that was my baby, my Cocaina Scarina, okay? Her name was Coco because, well, y'all know, okay? She had pretty white fur, all right? So I was like, she used to always make me happy. And he was like, well, let's get you a dog. And I was like, okay. Now, I'm thinking this process is going to be easy, right? I'm thinking it's going to be easy. I'm going to go online. Boom, there's a dog, right? Found the dog I wanted online. I was like, oh my gosh, it's perfect. Get all the way down to the description, the bottom of the description. They was like, the dog has heartworms. What? No, that's high vet bills. The dog eventually gonna die on me. I don't need that right now. So and y'all, when I say we looked, I mean we looked high and low for a week. We went to the ASPCA in my city, and all the motherfuckers had was some dirty ass looking cats. Okay, I didn't want none of those. Y'all, we was just looking on Craigslist. We was looking everywhere. Now, I work in a different city from where I live at this point in time. Now, the city I work in is a very big city in my area, and it's always a lot of traffic, okay? Lord God, it's always a lot of traffic, and I got off at 2 when all the work traffic was out there, okay? Our rush hour started at 2, okay? 2:30, you best to bet you're gonna start running into some traffic. So I was talking to my friend at work, Mississippi, the one I told y'all about that passed away. And he is a dog lover. And he was like, you going to find a dog for you, baby girl. You going to find a dog for you. And he was telling me different places to go look. And I'm like, okay, I'll try this. I'll try that. And I was just sitting at work at lunch one day. Because I'm like, damn, I'm about to give up. Because, like, I can't find the dog I want. And I had my mindset on I wanted a black dog. Because when I was doing my research when I was in college, because I used to want a beagle, I found out beagles don't shut the fuck up at night. And no. Okay, I will have me some cute little booties. Do you understand? Okay, I can't deal with that. You got to hush up at night. Mama got to go to sleep. I need my beauty rest. Okay, but then when I was doing the research, I found out black dogs are the least adopted dogs. So that's why I wanted a black dog. I'm like, okay, well, they need some extra love. So I'm going to get me a black dog because I need some extra love too. So trying to find a black dog to adopt, y'all, because like if I just wanted any old dog, then yeah, I probably would have found one a lot quicker. But trying to find a black dog to adopt, it was not that easy. And I just heard in my intuition at work one day, go to a city that is 45 minutes away from the city that I live in, okay, to go find a dog. Now, this particular city that's 45 minutes away is another big city in my area that has even more traffic than the city that I work in, okay? We're talking about double the traffic, y'all. And I was like, oh, hell no, I ain't going out there, especially not on a work day. What? I'm just going to take 2 hours to get there, get home. Okay? But I went. And my God, y'all, when I say it was deep in that city, it was deep in that city. It was an hour one-way travel, all right? Because that traffic was horrible. And I get there to the ASPCA, and I'm walking around, and they're like, hi, welcome to the ASPCA. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I need a dog. I'm see birds and all this type stuff. I'm like, do y'all have dogs? And they took me straight to the back. They had so many dogs in there. I was like, oh, my God. And I'm walking around looking. They're all big dogs, and I'm personally me, y'all. I was afraid of dogs, and I knew I wanted a puppy. But I'm like, do y'all have any smaller dogs? So they took me to another area, and I'm like, I was like, nah. They were like, we have I was like, do y'all have any puppies, maybe? And it was like, we actually have 2 puppies left. And they took me to this wall where there was this cage with this black and white puppy in there with blue eyes and she was so fluffy and she was so pretty. And then there was this black dog, okay, this black puppy laying down, just chilling to the side, not bothering anybody. So I was like, can I see the black and white one? Okay. So I picked up the fluffy one. And it was like, yeah. So she's all energetic and she's all happy to see me. And she's licking all on me. And I'm like, oh, she's so cute. I like her. And she's sassy. Oh, she has some attitude. Okay. I'm like, I think this is the dog for me. But then I kept looking at the Labrador. And I was like, can I see the Labrador? They were like, sure, but you have to put the other dog in there first. And I was like, okay, cool. Now, the Labrador had complete different energy. The Labrador was mad chill, just kicking it. Looking like she wanted to go to sleep. So I pick up the Labrador. And she's quiet. And she's moving around a little bit, but not doing much. Not making any noises or anything. Just kicking it. And I'm holding her. And I'm like, oh, she's like a little baby. And the fluffy dog in the cage is mad because I'm holding the Labrador and jumping all against the cage, barking and making all this noise. And I was like, oh, is that how you act when you don't get your way? And I looked down at that Labrador, and that Labrador looked up at me and looked me in my eyes. And I said, this is the dog for me. And I made up my mind, if I got a girl dog, I was going to name it Monroe. And if I got a boy dog, I was going to name it Marley. Okay, so I was like, I want the Labrador. And it was like, oh, well, somebody already signed up for the Labrador, because how it works is there is one family that signs up. 2 families can sign up at a time, though, but you're on the wait list. If the other family doesn't claim the dog in 48 hours, then you're the next one up for adoption. And you can only sign up for one dog at a time. Cause I tried to sign up for both of them. And it was like, because like, what if I don't get that one? Then I want to sign up for this one. They're like, you're going to have to come back and sign up for that one. And I was like, gracious. So I was like, okay. And I had to make up my mind. And I said, I'm going to sign up for the Labrador. And they're like, it's already a family ahead of you. And they're leaning towards adopting her. And I was like, oh, okay. But I'm thinking they're not going to adopt her for real. You know, I'm like, no, they ain't going to call. They ain't going to come back and come get her. So that was a Monday, y'all, when I went out there to the ASPCA in the city with the heavy traffic. But even though another family had signed up for her, I just felt like, you know what, that Labrador is mine. I just feel in my intuition that Labrador is mine. I had faith that Labrador was mine, right? So come Thursday, I'm at work talking to Mississippi, kicking it like we always do. And I get a call while we're on break from the ASPCA. And it was like, hey, this is the ASPCA. We're just calling to let you know that the Labrador that you had signed up to adopt, the other family has chosen to go ahead and adopt her. So you lost your adoption. And y'all, I was so heartbroken. It was like, you can come back and sign up for another dog. And I was like, no, I really wanted that one. Y'all, I was so heartbroken. I told him I would think about it, but I was like, man, I'm not going back out there. Like, I wanted that dog. And my friend was like, what's wrong, baby girl? You get another dog. Don't cry. I was really crying. I was like, but I want that dog. He was like, baby girl, it ain't that deep. It's not that serious. You're gonna find a dog that's for you. And y'all, I just really had faith that I was going to get this Labrador. And I went home Friday thinking I'm not going to have a Labrador. So Saturday, I'm at home, miserable, okay. I had to come back home to the room with my sister, and I just keep thinking about how I really want a dog. It's the person who I thought was my twin flame at the point in time, birthday. And so, like, the depression was still there, y'all, okay? Even though I knew I could not get back to that spot I was at before, the depression was still there, though. And I was just trying to figure out how the fuck to get out of it because it was so bad. But, I ended up getting a call that afternoon, and it was from the ASPCA, and they called to let me know that the family that adopted the Labrador actually was bringing her back, and I could come tomorrow to adopt her if I still wanted her. And I was like, yeah, I want her. So my best friend came and picked me up, and we went dog shopping for her because he loves dogs too. And so he took me to Petco, PetSmart, one of them pet places, y'all know. Okay, and we got her some food, and we got her a leash and stuff that she needed. And then the next day, I went and I adopted my Labrador. And it was the weirdest adoption because when I went to adopt her, she was not acting like how she was acting when I met her. So apparently they had her drugged up when I met her because she's known as an unruly dog. Okay, Marley, let me tell you something about Marley, all right? She is not going to take anybody's shit. If she don't want to do it, she don't give a damn, okay? You could be the best trainer in the world. If she don't really want to do that shit, she ain't gonna do it. You could pop her, she still ain't gonna do it, okay? And that's what I love about her. She has her own personality. She has her own mind. And she stands up for what she believes in. And she's not going to let you just treat her any kind of way. And I love that about my baby. Reminds me of someone. But, so I go to go adopt her. And she was acting wild. Like she was trying to run loose up in there. I'm like, if I put this dog down and let her go, she going to be all over the place. And the energy in there just felt so off, y'all. And, like, it was... Because she is a mess. But I had to bring my family to come meet her because at the point in time, that's where I was living. So I had to bring them to come meet her so I could adopt her. And... she was nice to everyone but me. I don't know what it was about me when me and Marley first got together. Like, we got in the back of the car, and as soon as we get in the back of the car, the child bites me, y'all. Like, the lady who I was signing the papers with at the counter, she was like, yeah, make sure you get her in those puppy training classes. They're free for 6 weeks. Make sure you do that as soon as possible. And I'm like, okay, they're not telling me something. As soon as we get in the car, she bites me. Get her home, I'm cleaning her cage. She pooping on the floor. She shitting on the floor. She pissing on the floor. Like, I'm like, what in the world? I'm trying to clean her cage. She bite me again. I'm crying. I'm like, Mama, why she keep biting me? I'm about to take her back. And she was like, no, Nina, she has to get used to you. She said, didn't the people at the place say give her 2 weeks to get used to you and stuff? And y'all, when I say, because I adopted her on Sunday, Wednesday, I went to go clean her cage. She bit me again. I put her ass up for sale on Facebook. I was not playing. Okay, I was like, 11-week-old Labrador for sale. Okay, like, I'm not playing. You can have her. Cage and all. Shoot. But... I did stick it out, y'all. I think after that Wednesday, she realized I wasn't playing with her no more. She was attacking my clothes. Like, any piece of clothing I had that was black, she wanted to bite it and attack it. Like, and I've just really had to break her out of a lot of things and teach her certain things, certain ways, train her. But she's a really smart doggy, though. But... yeah, that's basically, y'all, the story of how I adopted her. And she has just been the greatest thing in my life because even though she's a dog, that's my daughter, okay? That's the only child I have right now. She gets upset when I talk about having babies, but she's going to have to get over it. She doesn't mind me getting her a daddy because she wants to be spoiled. She's looking at that like, oh, I'll be spoiled by somebody else. But she get upset when I talk about me having kids, but she get over it. But me and her have definitely built a bond, and I'm glad that I did have that patience with her. I'm glad that I did have the patience to wait for the dog I knew that was for me, instead of going out and adopting another dog. Because what if I would have adopted another dog that same day, and the ASPCA would have called me? I wouldn't have been able to get her. And I'm just glad that I did have the patience with her. And I was able to show her that you can trust me, because I didn't realize she had trust issues. I didn't know that she had been through trauma. Like, through my spiritual gifts of vision, I have got to see what she went through with the other family. And it was a guy in the family that didn't like her because she did the same thing to them. She bit him when they first got her, and instead of him having patience with her and being nourishing and understanding and compassionate, that she just came from a place where I also found out where she was being abused at the ASPCA. He used to kick her. So she had trust issues on top of trust issues. She left the ASPCA where she was getting abused, and then she goes into this new family's home and she's getting abused there. So the first thing she thinks when I get her is, you're going to abuse me too. And I know for a fact she was getting abused at the ASPCA, because when I had to take her back there for her surgery and to get her checkup after her surgery, she would shake the entire time. Like, soon as we get out the car, she starts shaking. And she would shake the entire time until we got back in the car. And I mean trembling horribly, y'all. She hates it there. Anytime you mention it, she gets scared. She makes a sad face. Anytime you say her name before I adopted her, she makes a sad face. She gets scared. And she has just come in and she has just changed my entire life around, y'all. She has been my best friend. She has shown me how to open up and how to be more comfortable with being myself, and how to understand that even if I do have a falling out with somebody or we do have a disagreement, y'all can still come back together. The love could still be there. She's taught me how to be more patient with people, compassionate and understanding, loving, and to be careful who I give my trust to. That little girl has made me such a better person. She has made me aware of other people's feelings. And if I really love somebody, that I need to respect that they do have feelings, that I need to not try to hurt, but still be honest, though. She has taught me different ways to communicate, different love languages, and that's my baby. And as much as I have saved her, she has saved me as well, because only a couple of y'all knew this, because I mentioned it in the counseling sessions that I did with y'all. And a couple of y'all that I talked to personally, that I built personal relationships with, some of y'all know this as well, but March 23rd, 2019, I tried to commit suicide. I know. And the reason why I have the semicolon on my wrist, which, by the way, if you do not know, the semicolon is a symbol for mental health awareness. It represents that the person took a pause instead of ending their life with a period. So after I got Marley, I got my tattoo on my wrist the same exact week. Because every time I wanted to commit suicide, for the most part, except for that time when I was in the bathroom, I wanted to slit my wrist. And because I'm right-handed, it only makes sense to slit the left wrist. And Marley came in my room. And I had that knife in my wrist, and I was crying. And she pushed the knife out of my wrist. So, to a lot of people, she may just look like a dog. But when I say that's my soulmate, that's my baby, that's my rider, that's my best friend, I mean that. She understands me. She showed me that I am lovable, and that if I actually take the time to explain what I'm going through to a person, they can understand it. Sometimes I would have like just outbursts or just, different like fluctuations through my emotions, going through this healing process and going through this chronic pain journey, which makes it worse and makes my depression worse as well. It has taught me to be more aware of how I'm reacting to other people and how that's affecting them as well. She has shown me how to work on my emotions and how to express them better. And I actually have real conversations, just like how I talk to y'all right now. I can talk to Marley the same exact way. She understands everything I say and will actually respond, okay? And I have witnesses to this. She has taught me how to sit there and actually explain to a human what it is I'm feeling and why. And then she showed me that she understands that. She has been a huge part of my spiritual growth. And I do not know where I would be without her. All right, baby. So this is the Sunday Mimosa, the spiritual recipe. intuition, faith, and patience. You got to have all three if you want to be able to get somewhere. I love you, babies. I thank y'all for rocking out with me. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Love you, babies. Mwah.